All right, let's talk about something fascinating. University orientation in South Korea. Now, if you're picturing a quick campus tour and maybe some ice cream, you're going to want to stick around. Because trust me, it is a whole different world.
Yeah, forget everything you think you know. We're not talking about one day. We're talking about a full-blown overnight retreat. 3 days and 2 nights packed with activities, games, and, well, some very specific traditions. It's not just an introduction, it's total immersion.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is way more than just checking off boxes. They call it OST. And you've got to understand this is a massive cultural event. This is basically the starting gun for your entire social life at university. And the main event, the absolute heart of OT, is the retreat. You'll hear it called MT, which stands for membership training. This is where everybody, and I mean everybody, packs their bags, gets on a bus, and heads out of the city to a resort or a big guest house for a few days. This is where it all goes down. And I mean, just look at a typical schedule. It is a nonstop marathon of socializing. You've got your icebreakers, sure, but then there are huge group games, everyone cooking and eating together, and yeah, even talent shows. There's basically zero downtime. It's all designed for one thing, maximum bonding as fast as possible.
But to really get what's going on, you have to know about the unwritten rules. There's this invisible social structure that's running the whole show. It's a strict code of conduct, and everyone is expected to know it and follow it from the second they step off the bus.
And that entire code, that whole hierarchy, it all boils down to these two incredibly important words, sunbae and hubei. Simply put, a sunbae is an upperclassman, a senior, a hubei is an underclassman, a junior. And believe me, these aren't just casual labels, they define everything. This whole system is deeply rooted in Korea's history, influenced by Confucian values that really emphasize respecting your elders and knowing your place in the social order.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, it's all about respect, and it's shown in very specific ways. A hubei, the junior, has to use formal language with a sunbae. They bow when they greet them. They even wait for the sunbae to start eating first. But it's a two-way street. The sunbae are expected to be generous, to treat their juniors, often paying for meals or drinks. It's this whole system of mutual obligation.
So, why? Why all this structure, all these rules? It's all for one powerful concept, uri. Uri means we or us. And that's the whole point of OT. The goal is to strip away that sense of me and forge a we. You're not just an individual anymore. You're part of your department, part of your class. You are part of the uri. Now, this intense group focus is super traditional, but it's also where things get interesting today, as younger generations are definitely pushing for a bit more individuality.
And this brings us to, well, a huge, and let's be honest, sometimes intimidating part of the whole experience, the drinking. So let's ask the big question. Why are drinking and drinking games such a massive deal at these events?
You really have to look at it from two sides, right? On one hand, alcohol is seen as the ultimate icebreaker. It's a way to get past all that formality we just talked about and build those uri bonds really quickly. But there's a flip side. That purpose can easily turn into pressure. There's pressure to join in, pressure to keep up, and very real concerns about forced drinking, which is honestly a huge point of criticism for OTs.
So to give you a better idea, let's break down a super common and pretty simple game called the nunchi game. Nunchi is all about timing and reading the room. Basically, everyone's in a circle. Anyone can start by yelling 1. Then someone else has to quickly yell 2, and so on. The catch? If 2 people yell the same number at the same time, they both have to drink. And whoever is the last person to yell the final number, they drink too. So you can see it's really less about getting drunk and more about this fun, high-energy group dynamic.
Okay, so we've got the culture, we've got the rules. Now let's switch gears and get super practical. Let's say you were going to one of these things. What would you need to know to not just survive it, but actually have a good time?
First things first, what to pack. Comfort is everything, so think comfy clothes. Definitely bring your own toiletries and a towel. And a sleeping bag is a pro move because you'll probably be sleeping on the floor in a big room with, well, everyone. Oh, and bringing snacks to share is always a winning strategy. But honestly, the most important thing you can pack is an open mind.
And you know, learning just a few key phrases will make a world of difference. Your basic formal hello and thank you are absolutely essential for showing that respect we talked about. Thank you for the meal is another huge one. And maybe most importantly, know this phrase, I can't drink well. It's a polite and usually well-respected way to opt out if you need to.
So after all that, the games, the hierarchy, the late nights, the drinking, you might be wondering, what's the big picture? Why does this one single event matter so much in Korean university life?
It's because this isn't just some weekend trip. This event, this OT, literally builds the social foundation for the next 4 years. The connections you make here, those sunbae-habe relationships, that group identity, that's your network. It's going to be your support system for everything from late-night study sessions to, down the line, even getting a job.
I think this quote really says it all. You enter as strangers and leave as a family. And that's the goal, right? It's an intense, maybe even overwhelming experience by design. It's like a trial by fire, meant to take a bunch of strangers and forge them into something that feels like a family.
So what are we left with? On one hand, you have this incredibly powerful, almost timeless ritual for creating community. On the other, is it an outdated tradition that's having a hard time keeping up with the values of a new generation? That's really the big question, isn't it?